Well, hello, my friends. I'm excited to be here with Jerry Slusky and Chris Mensinger. Did I say that right, Chris?
Mensinger, it's fine.
Mensinger. Sorry. It's getting to be CRE Summit time, and Jerry is the founder and chairman of the summit, and Chris is the co-chairman. I want to welcome you both today. We're getting ready to the nominations are in process, and we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and before we do that, Andy, maybe I should give you just a short background on the summit for those of
Absolutely.
your listeners that don't know. We're going to be doing, I can't believe it, our 34th year
Wow.
of doing this, starting in 1990. And it has built up to be sort of the go-to conference for commercial real estate people in our area, Lincoln, Omaha, and the state. And we're getting people now from Sioux Falls, Sioux City, and Des Moines also. We've kind of spread our wings. But what's important here, Andy, is that every year we try to select subjects that are really important to what is going on in commercial real estate today. Because of the 800 or 900 people that attend, each of these people make their living in the world of commercial real estate. And today, unfortunately, unlike the last 10 years, things have dramatically changed with high construction costs. And of course, big time high interest rates.
Yeah.
And in talking to law firms, brokerage firms, engineers, architects, you can just tell that this train has not only slowed down, but we're coming up to a breaking to a stop.
Right.
And so that's what the conference this year's purpose is how to help people to make their living in this business work through these difficult times.
Yeah. I mean, it's so important. And I know every year this conference, because things are constantly changing, that you're really looking at what is happening now and addressing those issues. So, but I know, again, we've got nominations coming up, and you are recognizing firms and companies that, are out there doing their thing through really tough times. So let's just talk first about the different criteria and what are the different areas of people being recognized in categories.
Chris, go ahead.
You want to take it away, Chris?
Sure. So we have we're really trying to celebrate also. I mean, sometimes this conference lands in a time where of plenty, where everyone's there and thrilled. This year's a little bit more confusing. And so I think people are coming in and really want to learn a lot, and that's wonderful. And we'll definitely have that program for them to learn. But we also really want to celebrate. Yeah. And there's a few different areas that we celebrate: Hall of Fame, Deal of the Year, and Development of the Year. I'll tell you a little bit about Deal of the Year and Development of the Year. Deal of the Year is awarded to the brokers. Okay. There's a lot of brokers in the room, and it is those who complete the single most impactful transaction of the year. And that has to fall within 2023. So qualities such as transaction size, community impact, complexity are some of the criteria to consider. And again, they have to be completed in 2023. That is Deal of the Year for the brokers. And we're asking this year that those be submitted by everyone in it that attends the summit. So we're taking those submittals now. Our deadline for nominations is Wednesday, May 31st. So coming right up. And so we're really anxious to see how those are flying in. And then we'll take a look at those and review them and make the awards that day. Development of the Year criteria. Qualities considered for Development of the Year can also consider the impact of the development on the community, area and region, the size of the development, scope and investment, the influence the development should have on additional developments in the city. So how it'll help the future. And again, it needs to be completed in 2023. So we're really excited to see what's submitted and review those and award and celebrate the things that are happening in our community, both by the players that are doing it and the impact that it makes on our city.
And we'll talk about the Hall of Fame in a second, but I just want to ask this question: who can nominate? Anybody can nominate?
This year we threw it out to the entire anyone who's attending. So if you are signing up for the summit, you have a voice here. And so we've sent it out to our whole mailing list in hopes that we get a lot of submittals that maybe we hadn't thought of. And so it's a very diverse crowd. So anyone who would attend the summit.
Yeah, and in the past too, there have been some amazing, very notable organizations, people in different, areas that have been honored with this. I mean, this is a big
deal. It's a huge deal. It's a big honor. There's a lot of great things that happen. So when you really, focus on one, it is a big honor. And I think people are really excited, and it's a resume builder too. I mean, it's something that you should be very proud of.
Yeah. Well, Jerry, do you want to talk a little bit about the Hall of Fame?
I do. We're very proud of our Hall of Fame. We started it about in our 10th or 13th year of the summit. And what we tried to do, and I think we do, is recognize the really superstars in our business. If you look at a list of them, these are the builders and the contributors in our community who have built Omaha and built Lincoln. It's an amazing list, and each year we look for those people who have shown a significant contribution to commercial real estate. And this is all the professions. I mean, we have engineers, architects, lenders, developers, lawyers, and we're very proud of it. And I think, like Chris was saying, it's truly an honor for them, because you generally have to be about 60. You have to be, every one of these people is 30 to 40 years in the business, and they've devoted their whole life to it. So their families come down and they take tables at the banquet, and it's a tearjerker because everybody contributed, including their families and friends, to the hard work they put in, and we recognize that.
Yeah. Well, I remember the year my father was nominated. It was actually the year that he had passed away, I believe, or the year before. But yeah, it's a very special. It's very special, and the list of people that are a part of that alumni, so to speak, are true. I mean, I think to me are just true heroes in the commercial real estate industry over the years. So,
yeah. And we have a really good bunch that have been nominated this year too, and we'll be making those selections here in the next 30 days or so.
Yeah. Can people also nominate for Hall of Fame? Okay.
I was going to mention that, just like Chris said, anybody who's in this business can go to the website. The nomination forms are there for the 2 awards Chris mentioned, and the one for Hall of Fame also. And so, yes, please, the door's open. So let's have some more nominations.
Well, lastly, when is the conference scheduled, or the summit scheduled for? In August? End of August?
August 25th.
Friday, August 25th.
Friday, August 25th. Okay. And that again is something not to miss. It's a special day. And then I see there's typically a celebration when it's all done, of just a really remarkable day, and very insightful and educational. I mean, you get a lot of information about all kinds of things. And I know the speakers are always dynamic, and he'll be announcing those over the summer too. So, and your website's great. So encourage people to go to the website, which is
attendcresummit.com.
Yeah, lots of great information there as well. Well, anything else you want to say before I let you two go?
I just want to say this. I didn't mention this. The course, the name this year is Charting a Course, Working Through High Interest Rate Times. And that's the target, the focus of the conference. And every breakout session and every session will be devoted to solving the problems created by the high interest rates. And so it's a really important year to attend.
Yeah. And it's at the CHI Health Center. Yeah, again. So location has been at for years. So again, I encourage everybody to check out the website. And it's a great summit. So congratulations on 34 years. My goodness.
Crazy, isn't it?
It is, Jerry. You started something pretty powerful. So Well, I thank you both for being here today, and
Thanks, Andy.
and we will see you soon.
We thank you, Andy. Appreciate it very much,
Thank
and
you.
the support
You're
of
welcome.
MBJ. Bye-bye.
And folks, don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, hello, my friends. I am excited to be here with Brandon Shute. He's doing something coming up here shortly that I want to share with you about. So, Brandon, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I just kind of learned about you not too long ago, a couple days ago actually, and you are doing something that you're calling running across Nebraska for charity, and I believe 4 charities are involved. We'll talk about those charities, but how did you? Let's just talk. Tell me a little bit about you.
So currently I'm a freshman at UNO. I study kinesiology. I've kind of been running my entire life, it feels like, about 5, 6 years now. That's kind of it. That's all I have right now.
Yeah, yeah. So, so running across Nebraska, is this so? You've never done this before,
No.
and what was the inspiration to do this? Because that's kind of, I mean, Nebraska is it's a long state. So,
Yeah.
what was the inspiration for this?
So kind of December of 2021, it was kind of just this random thought that I was just like, well, that could be something I could do maybe like 4 years from now, maybe when I'm graduating college. And then kind of as 2022 progressed, it was more or less a thought just why not do it next year?
Hmm.
So I kind of did a lot of research and I was like, I could do it. I'm in really good shape to do so. I have all the tools I need to do it, so why not just go for it over the summer? So I spent about the next year kind of just working on this, getting research done, figuring out who was going to help me out with it. And the training's been great. The people I'm working with are great, and everything should be ready. So I start May 31st.
May 31st. And I think part of that kind of planning of it. Well, first of all, how many miles is it from starting in Omaha to where's your endpoint?
So we're actually doing it reverse. So we're starting in Big Springs,
Okay,
which
yep.
is like Big Springs, Nebraska, right on the Colorado border. It's 364 miles from Big Springs to Bellevue,
Okay, to Bellevue.
which yeah.
And I'm sure so part of that planning really had to have been like what path are you running?
Yeah.
The roads and then the potential stops, the cities you'll be stopping in or the towns you'll be stopping in, correct?
Yeah. Luckily it's a random fact, but so essentially all of like the small towns above the interstate, it's almost like a 40-mile gap in between all of them, which is
Really?
exactly
Okay.
what I'm running. Yeah, so 40 miles a day. So it's a really weird thing that most of the towns are split that perfectly in between each other.
Okay. Well, interesting. So, like you said, you're starting on May 31st. It looks like your end date would be you're arriving in Bellevue on June 10th.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Okay. Um, so let's talk about the organizations that you're running for, because that's really important.
Yeah. So I'm running for Make-A-Wish Nebraska, the Stevens Center, Children's Hospital, and Community Alliance.
And can I ask, I mean, are you related? Do you have why these 4 organizations? I guess that's the question. Why these 4 organizations?
So when it came to Children's Hospital, when I was younger, I had a lot of health issues growing up. So I was in and out of Children's Hospital for about the first 3 years of my life. And then when I was in high school, I had terrible knee problems. So I had to get surgery twice at Children's.
Okay.
So Children's was kind of a staple in my life to begin with. When it came to Make-A-Wish, that's kind of, it's kind of, I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm stuttering. I'm so sorry. But when it came to Make-A-Wish Nebraska, I kind of have connections with them to begin with. So I was just like, yeah, let's work together. It's a good idea. And especially with everything that Make-A-Wish Nebraska does, like it's really good for the community. And when it came to Community Alliance and the Stevens Center, that was kind of something I just did research on because I knew I
Yeah.
wanted to help 4 charities and I was already at 2. So I tried to do something that's more based on mental health, homelessness, and addiction, try and get those three corners to get those
Yeah.
three aspects done. So it was kind of a good idea to try and spread things out, try and reach as much to the community as I could.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what
Yeah.
the goal was.
Yeah, the impact. I mean, the impact you really, those four charities, I'm familiar with all of them. I will give a shout out to Make-A-Wish because it's because of them that we're sitting here today. When I had a
Really?
conversation with them the other day, is that they connected me with you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are really four yeah, amazing organizations. So so you said so a year or so ago, or maybe at the beginning of 2022. So how have you been kind of preparing for this? Like just from the running standpoint.
So initially, I would kind of just run like maybe 10 miles a day. That was like a year ago, like a year ago. Um, and then now I kind of increased my mileage. So essentially, I do about 15 to 20 miles a day, which is
Yeah.
about half of what I'm doing. So I'll usually do when I'm not like in class, I'll kind of just be running around in between my classes, after my classes, whenever I'm not busy, kind of just doing some really slow mileage. And then after I'm done with the day, around like 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, I'll actually like go for a quote unquote run. And I'll usually do like 13 to 15.
And how can people yeah, how can people support you? Because are you so you're raising money for these charities?
Yeah. So I made a GoFundMe
Okay.
and I'll make sure to include that link. But unfortunately, GoFundMe is it's a little bit weird. You can only, when it comes to the nonprofit part, you can only raise money for one nonprofit. So I had to put it under the category of raising money for someone else, which kind of sucks. But I'm
Right.
willing to I'm willing to make it a little bit more difficult if it means I can help all of the nonprofits. So I'll just
Absolutely.
have
And
to
I
do it
know,
manually.
yeah, and I know so that GoFundMe link should be across the bottom of um the screen as we're talking, because we've got people that are going to be producing this. So people can go to the GoFundMe page. And do you have a dollar amount that you're thinking? I mean, do you have like what is your dream dollar amount? Do you have one?
Yeah, the goal is $50,000.
Okay.
I feel like that's a pretty reasonable line to
Mhm.
set.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, it really helps these four just important organizations, these nonprofits, that, they can do a lot as you break that up into four,
Yeah.
between the four organizations. So, and well, anything else you want to add? This was great. I want to encourage everybody to go to the GoFundMe link and yeah, and support your efforts in raising money for these charities. But um, any final words? Any final words from you? I will have one final word, but any final words
Uh,
from you?
keep up with my social medias. Once it gets
Okay.
closer, we'll actually be posting updates on the road, so should be pretty good. So if that's something you're interested in keeping up with, just check it out.
Okay. Okay, great. I know we're showing your social media how we can connect with you and follow you on this journey. I would then love to have another conversation with you once you are done and to just, find out how it went. I just want to say bravo. What a great, I love, coming up with a new idea, something that does support nonprofits. Also moving your body. So, and getting that health and wellness piece in there, Brandon. So congratulations and have fun.
Thank you so much. I will.
Have fun. It'll be interesting to see what kind of weather you potentially might encounter along the way as well.
Oh
So
yeah. Hopefully no tornadoes
yeah,
because I don't want to be swept up.
nope, no, not at all. Oh, I do have one last question before I let you go. Do you have so do you have a team that's like following you in a car with this, or what?
Yeah. So we have an RV. That's kind of what we got through the sponsorship.
Okay,
So thank you, Doug Hutchison from Hutchison Engineering. He's my dad's boss. He's an incredible person. So pretty much loading up the RV with a bunch of my friends who also run. It's about to be around 8 of us.
okay,
And essentially what they do is there's going to be two of them every 10 miles that run with me. So they kind of swap
okay,
out pacing
okay,
and
yep,
it should be pretty fun. So it's
okay, yeah.
essentially just running with my friends as well.
Okay. Well, again, we'll for sure follow you on social media, and then have fun, and we'll yeah, I'd love to have a conversation when you get back. So good luck, Brandon, and
Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you.